Hi, I'm Maya, and this is me summoning up the courage to make my first video after thinking about it for years. I remember reading about how the things that you surround yourself with have the most impact on you and your behavior. And in that context, the author was talking about phones and how the closest it is to us, the more impact it has on us. But then I thought, what if I do the opposite? What if I'll surround myself with as much positive things and see what impact it makes on me and my motivation and mood? So I decided to surround myself with beauty, and hopefully it'll spread out and create an environment that's more motivating and hopeful for me. I'm not looking for a magical solution, that suddenly I'll figure everything out once my space is more inspiring. But even if it won't have a huge impact, at least I'll get to be surrounded by things I made, and hopefully love. And along the way I'll learn new things, which is always a beautiful bonus. So I started creating a lot of things, but never got around to finish them. And one of them was a chain of leaves. I knew that I will cut them after painting, so I didn't need to stay within the lines, which is really nice and freeing. The day after I painted this leaf, I was watching the time lapses on my phone, and I had this strange feeling. This leaf wasn't there 2 days ago. It was waiting for me to paint it for 7 months or so, and the other leaves were waiting for me to finish them. And what feels like all of a sudden this leaf is there, on my screen, being painted before my eyes. Watching these time lapses on my phone made me feel like I wasn't as aware of the process of creating as I wish I was. It's like I don't really remember creating it, so this is a reminder for myself to be more mindful when creating. Although I do know that it's okay, it was difficult for me to paint this leaf. It's been a while since I painted, and it feels a bit stiff and weird to paint. And on top of that, filming and painting simultaneously was really hard. And I wasn't comfortable painting at all when I painted it, with the camera and the setup and everything. So here are a few reminders for myself. You will get better at the filming aspect soon. You will find a way for it to be comfortable, or at least more comfortable. It's okay that you don't have the lighting all figured out and that it's shifting and making the footage uneven. It's okay that the colors look weird and not as good as in real life. You'll figure it out. It will be really satisfying watching this first video in the future and knowing how much you've learned and improved, filming-wise and art-wise. But for that to happen, you need to pass this barrier of actually finishing this video and summon up the courage to upload it. After putting it off for a while, my partner suggested that it might be more fun to cut the leaves in the park. It was such a nice day, and it did help make the process a bit less tedious. I was really struggling with the scissors I had. The big ones weren't very comfortable for all the tiny curves, and the tiny ones weren't sharp enough to cut the watercolor paper. I finished cutting them at home. I tried using nail scissors and they were a bit more comfortable for all those tiny spaces. It took such a long time to cut them, but I'm so happy with how they turned out. I had a plan to create a 3D paper kumquat tree, but I didn't really know how to approach this idea. So in the meantime, I decided to paint it. I had a similar tree outside the house I grew up in, and lately I felt homesick for simpler times. Picking up the fruit as kids without a care in the world. I wanted to paint this tree with hopeful colors. I wanted it to feel happy and childlike, to transport me to those simpler times. A really long video with the art process of this painting coming soon. Next on the list was to finish the butterfly showcase I started. These poor butterflies waited for me patiently for even longer than the leaves. All that I had to do was to glue them to a paper and frame them. really like how they turned out, but a tiny bit sad that the glass mutes the colors a bit. This is why I decided against framing the rest of the paintings I'm going to put on the walls. Each time I take a painting out of a frame, I'm amazed by how much more colorful it is, and vibrant colors is one of my favorite things about creating art. I wanted to hang my watercolor chart for ages. It was kept with my unfinished paintings for so long. This way, it'll be so much more convenient to refer to. I picked a few old paintings that I love to join the new ones. Finally, it was time to hang everything on the wall. This painting was the first one I did for this project, and I hope it'll help me remember to create more things I love. It was so wonderful to see all of them together, and I really love how it turned out. Few final thoughts. I'm letting go of expectations for this video to be more than what I'm currently capable of producing, and I'm just jumping in, not waiting any longer for me to feel ready. I'm okay with this video being all over the place, incoherent and messy. While I write this, I'm reminding myself, this is your first try. This is the first time you're doing this. Make all the quote-unquote mistakes, grow from them, learn from them, and then go and make new mistakes. I'm putting them in quotes because I don't wish to think about them as actual mistakes, but as stepping stones I need to jump on that are simply part of the way. I'm okay with being corny, or if everything I say has been said before, it doesn't matter. What matters is that I'm finally trying, and that these are the things that I need to hear today. So here I am. Let's begin.